I wanted to give you some hints on some of the later problems in 4.3 Webassign. These are some of the early problems, just kind of straightforward, dealing with the coordinates of the vertex, horizontal intercepts of the parabola. Same story with number 2, 3, 4, sketch the graph. These ones you should have no problem with after watching the video. Determine the equation of this quadratic function. This one is probably the first problem where you really may need to think through a few things. Determine the equation of the quadratic function from its graph y equals, and then all we're given is this picture. And luckily they've given us the vertex. That's a big help, but we still have to find out what in the formula, the vertex form of a quadratic, we still have to know what the a out front is, and they haven't given us that. But somewhere along this graph, I think you can probably tell where another point on the graph is. Use that as an x and y, and then solve for a. Number 8 is really similar to a problem that we did in the video, and now it's number 9 that I want to talk about. So here's the hint I want to give you on number 9 here, and your number might actually be different than the 600. I know Webassign throws out different numbers for different students, but the method will be the same. We have this pen that's holding sheep, and we have a certain amount of fencing. In this particular problem, it's 600 feet of fencing, and we know that this right here is x, this is y, and this is x, and that's all that they tell us. They want us then to create a quadratic function to model the situation and write it in terms of x. Let a of x be the total area of the pens. So you probably will be able to come up with a formula for a of x. If it's area, then you want this length times width. And this side is x, this side is x plus y. So you'll be able to come up with your own formula for area. The problem is you've got x's and y's in there, and we want only a formula with x's. So we need some other relationship with x and y to perform a substitution. So just recapping, you'll be able to come up with this equation. It's just the length times the width. The problem is you'll have some y's in there. So what other relationship do we know? We know this is how much fencing happens, right? So in essence, 600 equals the total fencing. It equals this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this. You have variables for each of those. It's x plus another x plus x plus x plus y plus x plus y. So 600 equals the sum of all of those things, a bunch of x's and y's. You'll be able to clean these up and solve for y, and then you'll have y equals something with just numbers and x's in it. Use that to substitute for your y up here. So once again, you'll have a formula with x's and y's equaling 600. Solve for y. So solve p equals a bunch of stuff for y. Then substitute into a sub x. Okay, and then your last problem on 4.3 will be this one. It's talking about outdoor high jump. He jumped 2.45 meters into the air. Create a quadratic function to model the situation. And it's over time, t, what was his height. We essentially need to find out what h and k are. Well, they do give you a big hint right here that he jumped 2.45 meters. And then think about one other point at t equals 0, what would his height be? So that's my hint for that. Message me if you have any more questions.